All right. So for those of you just tapping in, this is Found a Way with Why It Matter. Your host, Why It Matter. We're here every Wednesday, 11 p.m. Eastern. For my guests, make sure that when we are talking, that you have no profanity. We keep it PG-13 in here, y'all. PG-13. All right. We can slide along that fence, but we can't go over it. Okay. This is a place for us to hear out our guests. We're not here to debate. We're not here to, question or argue our guests. We're here to hear their advice. We're here to hear their experience because they're the ones that live these lifestyles, the unconventional lifestyles and relationships, right? Not many people nowadays practice celibacy. That's why that's the topic for tonight. So we have nobody in the box. Nobody, why don't you go ahead and let us know, you know, a little about you as a streamer, when we can catch you on the app. He actually is recently a Gunny winner, y'all. He just won his first Gunny on the app. So you guys give a warm welcome to Nobody. Thank you, Jamila.
How are you doing tonight? I hope everybody's in good health. I hope your spirit. I hope everything is good. Everything is good. My name is Nobody. First of all, why I chose that name is because at the end of the day, nobody even matters. And I came on the app kind of new on the tag streets. I'm a retired top badge from Meet Me, 2 years, but my support died. And instead of crying about it, I just kind of packed my bags, took the little blue gift card that's like I think 10K, and I moved on. But now I'm here and I love it. And yeah, I like the neighborhood. I like the neighborhood, and the neighbors is cool. Appreciate the mustache. I need one. I've been trying to grow one. Appreciate that. Late on puberty. But anyway, so I'm here to talk about celibacy because I had been celibate for a good 6 years now. And one thing I could tell you guys is okay, a lot of people will talk about, first of all, I think we should talk about the opposite thing, address the elephant in the room before we actually get to that subject. So, a lot of people, they say sex is a stress reliever, which is true. It could be a stress reliever, but it could also be stressful. Having that distraction in your mind all the time because we're human and mostly half of our thinking is sexual all the time. So, and when I talk about sexual, it's not just you're thinking about just content and different images and stuff like that. Sexual can also be waking up and thinking about who's gonna want me. What am I from a 1 to 10 to somebody? You know, um, going up into a stream and saying, damn, do you think I'm fine? Am I your type of person that you would get with or something like that? Those kind of things can stress us out because it could create insecurities.
Mhm.
Um, One thing I'm not insecure because I put mentality over physicality. Once you put mentality over physicality, you find yourself in a space, in a realm of you accept people from their notion of understanding what is going on with themselves. Um, Another thing about that is a lot of people will talk about how celibacy is just having sex with someone else. No, that's not true. Celibacy is also having sex with yourself. If you look up celibacy, it talks about sexual relations. Can you have sexual relations with yourself? Yes, you can relate to yourself during a sexual act. So, with that being said, masturbation, all of that is out of the picture. Everything. It's literally everything. When you're celibacy, you can't be half a vegetarian. You're either a vegetarian or you're not. So, I have been practicing celibacy for a while now because I wanted to eliminate that distraction. It's such a distraction because I'm a man as well. It's more of a distraction for me, and it gets involved in my life at a certain extent. And I'm sure all the men, all the kings in here can definitely relate to this. It is a constant, everyday distraction. And just like everything, if you practice it, if you practice it, you could accomplish it. So just like a vegetarian practices on being a vegetarian, I practice on celibacy, and I'm truly happy. One thing that it does for me as a person is I go to bed happy every night, regardless if I have problems or whatnot, because I have eliminated a distraction that is constantly plaguing existence for years and years and years. Not to say that I don't think about these things. I would be foolish to say I don't think about these things. But I have a mindset of placing them in a box where they're kind of like on a reserved point. You know what I mean? Um, and like I said, being celibate is not a bad thing because you start looking at everything else a little different. Um, One thing about me is different from a lot of people, and I say that on here too. A lot of people are so one-sided. They're on the one-sided street of if I'm a man, I support a woman. If I'm a woman, I support a man. So I can honestly say confidently, and I'm also heterosexual. I can say confidently because of practicing celibacy and just not thinking about all of that and having that one-sided track mind about females, females, females. My support, my networking has become in a sense bisexual. Like my support is bisexual. I support men and I support women on an even spectrum. So that works for me because I don't discriminate. I don't hesitate on my on being discriminative. So,
Hmm.
and it's going to help you in the long run because you got to understand we have to all work together. We all we got. I know you guys heard that before. We all we got.
Right.
So eventually we have to work together and we need to stop the hate. And I think one of the main things that celibacy does for me is it causes for me not to hate the same sex on a spectrum because I'm jealous. I'm envious of what they got, because like I said, I put my mentality over physicality, and that has just overall expanded my growth as a person, as a being, as a vibe, as a mood.
I love that. I'm gonna cut you off real quick, nobody. We're gonna
Yeah,
do a
go for
little
it.
intermission. So for those of you just walking in, because I see we had 100, almost 120 views now. So for those of you just walking in, this is Found a Way. I'm your host, Wyatt Matter. We are here every Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern. Then on this show, we take unconventional relationships and unconventional lifestyles, and we allow our guests to explain their story, to give their advice, and give, their experiences with these lifestyles. We're not here to debate with them. We're not here to have some type of argument with them. We are just simply here to have a platform where they can explain themselves. And you might have a different point of view, but it might, who knows, they might change your point of view. Some of you might walk away today and want to participate in celibacy. Who knows? Look, I was doing good for a few
Mm-hmm.
months. So we have nobody who's been on the app for a little bit of time. He came from a different app, and he said that he's been uh, participating in celibacy. Every time I say it, I'm about to say celebrate celibacy. I'm trying not to say that. I mean, we could celebrate it, but still, he's
Right,
been
right, right.
partaking
Definitely a celebration or
in
something.
celibacy for 6 years now, which is a very long time. I saw somebody try to hop in. I don't know if that was blended or them trying to hop in, but he explained a little bit on his take and his um, thought process when it comes to celibacy, which is very intriguing. I love the way that you put it.
Thank
And
you.
so we also have a surprise guest. So nobody is our featured guest. We did have a surprise guest. I might have a second one as well, maybe even a third, if they do show up. But we have Blended. So Blended, if you want to box up, you can give a little bit about yourself and your story and stuff like that. And then I'll have a few questions. I don't have too many questions, but I'll have a few questions for you guys.
Okay.
Nobody answered it, quite a good lot of them already.
I'm
He was
always
ready.
10
He was
steps ahead.
prepared. He was prepared.
Good evening.
Evening aggressive.
Hold on, let me turn on my light so
I'm
y'all can
doing
see.
it.
Ain't nobody, baby.
I love the way he thinks.
Thank you. I
So tell us
appreciate it.
when we can catch you, all the things about you on the app, and a little bit about you and
Thank
your
you,
experience with
John
celibacy.
John. Hey, my.
John, much
Subliminal.
gratitude for that. Appreciate it.
Y'all be sure to face the gifters, y'all.
Okay, so nobody already went. You want to hear my story?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So I was married for 12 years, and my husband had a problem with infidelity. So I asked God to take the desire for sex away from me, because even in the Bible it says that you're not supposed to hold out on your husband unless you're fasting, unless it's to honor God. So I asked God to take the desire away from me, and He did. Once He took the desire away, He also took my ex husband away. And just because that journey was over for me, I decided not to be with anybody until my divorce was final. And I held out on not even lusting after anyone for 8 years.
That's a long
And
time.
while I was celibate, I improved in school. Um, I moved out to LA and got a place with my dad and my kids, and they flourished in school. So, celibacy is a great thing if it's for you, and you just have to make sure that you're not doing it for your own selfish gain. At least in my case, because I was doing it for the higher power. That's why I had the discipline and couldn't get tempted no matter what the devil threw at me.
I love it. I love it. So my question for you guys. Well, we heard why you guys already decided to choose celibacy. Now, would you
Mhm.
say men or women benefit more from celibacy, or does it even matter?
I would say, in my
Honestly,
opinion, it's men because we think of it more. We
Hmm.
definitely think of it more. I mean, it's a scientific fact that half of our brain cortex is on a sexual surface more than women. They say women
Hmm.
scientifically think about more business than they do actually sex.
Hmm. So you think the men are getting a clearer mind when they're celibate versus the women because they already have that thinking process?
Right. Because it's overwhelming for us. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's
What
very
do you say, Blue?
overwhelming for us.
I would have to disagree with you. I don't know what all studies you read, but this is according to a study that women actually do think about sex more than men. They just don't act on it. So maybe the men are more impulsive when it comes to sex, but women do. Even as a young girl, you're thinking about your first time. So for a male, 9 times out of 10, you guys then already hit something. So we're thinking of that what if, we're watching movies and different things that have the story romance. So that's why as a little girl, you're thinking about your husband already. And then when you get a little older, your thoughts get tainted and then it's just sex.
Mm. Okay, that was very
Well, that
interesting.
goes
We
back to the reason why I say that is because there's a saying that says men think more
Chosen.
with our private part than we do our actual head, and it's very true. Most of us do.
true. A question from the chat was from Storm. He said, "How do either of you control the sexual urges?" So I guess he's curious, like when, well, as you're practicing celibacy, like how do you control your urges?
You have to channel that energy into something else. For me, it was seeking God. and working out and being the best possible
Thank you, John
person
John.
that I could. Thank you, John John, baby.
For me, I would say it's definitely a challenge. It's a consistent challenge all the time because, like I said, we're actually we're sexual beings. You know, I feel like we're sexual beings, or else we wouldn't, have the power. Women wouldn't have the power to have kids and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Even the most innocent person wants to have a child at some point. That doesn't want to have sex. But eventually they have to do something about that. And for me to control the sexual urges, it's just all about distraction. Bridging off what Blended said, I think it's the same thing. But for me, it's more of a physical thing. I need to have my hands on something else other than my hands on a body, or a body part or something like that. I need to have my hands, doing something, community service, or dancing, or doing something, just a distraction to keep me occupied enough where that space doesn't get filled with that intention again.
Hmm.
Mm.
Mine is dancing too, because I think it's because dancing is such a sexual act. And so it's just like with eating and drinking water. If you're drinking water, you're not hungry because your brain has the same signal for both water
No problem,
and
Storm.
food.
Thank you, Mimi.
No problem, Storm.
Okay. Well, for those of you guys just tuning in, this is Found a Way with Wyatt Matter. I'm your host, Wyatt Matter. We are here every Wednesday, 11 p.m. Eastern. Tonight we have our
Thank you,
featured guest,
Hakeem.
Nobody, and our surprise guest, Blended. We might have two other surprise guests. We'll see as the show goes. Um, Tonight we are talking about celibacy. The reason I chose celibacy is because it is something that isn't really regularly practiced amongst people, and some people get the wrong
Right. Or
idea.
talked
Some
about.
people some people have a different view of what it is, things and such. So we were hearing their intake, how long they've been a part of it. um, we actually just had a really good question, was how do they fight their urges while partaking in celibacy, and those were actually very good answers about displacing their energy to something else and distracting themselves with other forms of hobbies and such. um, Nobody, hop back in whenever you can. My next question is, what difficulties did you personally face when dealing with celibacy and practicing it?
Um, of course, men were readily available,
As they always are.
but it was like triple time.
You could think
So,
about them and they pop up on your phone.
but but that's all they wanted. Yeah, you had old flings or old people that knew that I was going through what I was going through. All of a sudden, they want to come back in your life or whatever. And so it's real easy for you to fall back into that comfort zone, especially if you were sexually active with them.
Right.
But I just ignored the calls and text them instead, and laid down my guidelines of when not to contact me. So don't be contacting me at booty call hours. If you want to talk to me, you can call me during the day in the morning. We
Right.
can talk about more things. And if your conversation is not productive, I don't want to talk.
That's reasonable.
I thought my testimony was going to relate to hers, but wow, it's way over. Um, so I used back when I was in college. Um, I'm one of those typical kind of like those guys that had a nice body and stuff like that. I was in college and I was a go-go dancer for a long time. I did
Oh.
strip clubs. I did a lot of that. And me doing that and being in that realm, um, even when I was when I was a top badge on Meet Me, I noticed a lot of people feed on to the physicality of you, and they're going to support you. A lot of people are going to support you based on that because the majority of people are very vain by nature, and it's not their fault. They're it's kind of like they're intoxicated by society to that point to
Right.
look at someone as a body more than a mind and a spirit. Um, and it brings me to my point of how if you come to my stream, you notice I never show my face. I'm always dark streaming is because I want people to support me based on my mentality, my mindset, my groove, my mood, because people will definitely they'll feed off of how you look. Every single part of you, your lips, your eyes, everything. They feed off of that. And I don't want people to feed on me with that type of energy. And the fact that I'm new on here and I get the support I do, it shows that not everyone is like that in the world. People are going to support you, you know what I mean, on a different type of spectrum. So that's the reason why I dark stream. Not to say I'm the best looking guy, but I'm not bad looking. I mean, go to my Instagram. No, I'm just playing. I'm celibate. Don't do that. But yeah, I was just used and very abused, on a physical spectrum that it just caused me to be like, I don't want to be anyone's, canvas anymore that they think that they could just kind of paint on anytime they want. I want to color myself in. And I feel like being celibate and having less stress with celibacy and not worrying about how people look at me. I mean, I still deal with it on the outside, but I accept that that's the world. But the fact that, like, the reason why I like tag so much and I like streaming, like I said, it shows a different dynamic of people that are going to support you because of who you are, not what you look like.
So aggressive's question is, would you say that everyone is not equipped to play the game?
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. I need some elaboration.
Yeah, I'm not sure what part he's referring to the most,
Thank you,
but that
Mary.
looks good. Faster than anything else.
Poppy
Very
legs.
true.
Appreciate you, bro.
Okay, so here's the thing, aggressive is it's not an open platform. Even though I know that it's easier to hop in the box, I'm gonna need you to just explain in the comments. Yeah, I'm sorry. I plan on introducing that once a month though. Once a month I will allow like a free for all where everybody could just hop up and do their thing. But yeah, I'm working on that so I can make sure I have a little bit of control over that.
Exactly, subliminal. Everything is a
That's
choice
true.
at the end of the day.
Thank you, twin.
Everything is a choice at the end of the day. You're not obligated to feel any type of way or do anything. Everyone has a choice, but they just act like they don't have a choice because society has molded them into thinking that they don't. But at the end of the day, if you take control of your mentality and yourself, you can make your own decisions.
Oh, okay. So he's basically saying like, are you saying that not everybody has the capability to control? And I think that's basically what um
Yeah, no, everybody
uh
has the capability to control. Everybody has that power. It just
yeah,
people don't want to do it.
Subliminal just said.
It's just like everybody can cook at home and eat good, but they choose not to convenient because it's more convenient to go out and buy food. But they have their choice.
That's understandable.
Hold on. Can you mute me? Can you mute me real quick? Why? I got a phone call.
No problem. All right. So for those of you just tuning in, thank you guys. Make sure you guys are favoring the gifters. Make sure you guys are favoring the guests. If you guys are enjoying the show, be sure to favor me. We're here every Wednesday. This is Found a Way with Why It Matter. like I said, every Wednesday, 11 p.m. Eastern,
Providing a
where we take
celebration
unconventional
of
relationships and lifestyles,
love
and
rather than
we
conditional.
discuss how our guests, found a way to make it their normal way. We have Nobody in the Box. He's our featured guest tonight for the topic of celibacy. And then we have First Lady Blended, who experienced celibacy as well. She experienced it for 8 years, while Nobody is continuing his journey. So far, he has been doing it for 6 years. Um, so the next thing that was said, let's see, everybody would celebrate the first 13 plus years of their lives. So why do they think now it would be so hard for them? Well, I will say you can't really compare. Oh, thank you. You can't really compare. I'm going to say that, in my opinion, you can't compare your childhood years of being celibate to your adult years. Because technically, even though it's possible, you know, you're not going around with the intention to be humping on everything at that age. You know what I'm saying? You get to a certain age to where you eventually start thinking about it. So I mean, like there are kids being breastfed, but they're not getting no sexual stimulation from it. They sit in their father's lap, they sit in their mother's lap, but they're not getting no sexual stimulation from it. It's not so you can't really compare those years. You know what I'm saying? Hmm.
And I would also say that you haven't experienced it or been pleasured to think about it as a teen at that age. Like once that box is open, it's kind of no closing it. Like you have to make a conscious decision and
Right.
be like, okay, I want more than this.
Right.
Yep, mind it.
Okay, so my next question would be, what were the benefits? Um, hey Joker.
With my ex-husband, yes.
Hmm. So the benefits for you, Blended, was that you found your relationship with God. You were able to move into a spot, take care of your kids a lot better. Like you're able to focus on life. Would you say that that's the only benefit, or were there other benefits in regards to the celibacy for you?
For me, I
Like a
just had
generalized one.
more, like I said, I just had more time on my hands as I was seeking God. Of course, I was encouraging others. I was meeting up with women and going out to lunch that were like minded or had the same goals and aspirations that I did. They were powerhouses in business or leading the church or even womanhood and being a parent.
Okay,
No, no, no.
let's get this clear. She never said she was currently celibate. She said that she practiced celibacy for
Thank
eight
you,
years.
Ryan.
The one that's currently celibate and continuing their
Nobody.
journey is Nobody. So she's
Yes.
speaking on her experience because she did do it for so long.
So what did I miss?
Just
Can you update me?
so basically we just discussed a little
Yes,
bit
I did.
um about, because somebody mentioned, I think it was Subliminal had mentioned, if you could be celibate for the first 13 years of your life, why is it so, it shouldn't be so difficult for you to do it again. And that's where I say, well, you can't really compare childhood with adulthood.
Yeah, you can't because your body is different. You feel different. Your hormones are different. Yeah,
Yeah.
the world you look at is different. Not that's not understanding versus understanding. You know what I mean? It's a whole different spectrum. It's a whole different light, a whole different realm. You're comparing the matrix to reality.
Right. And then the question I had asked was like, what other benefits? Like she said, her personal benefits from celibacy. I said, was there any general things? Hi, Wap. Was there any general benefits that she gained from celibacy that other people might experience? Because not everybody is gonna go celibate for religious reasons. You know.
Right.
and infidelity. So I was saying, like, what other benefits did she gain from being celibate?
Other benefits than what exactly? In
Than what
religion?
you guys explained, than what you
Than
guys
what you
experienced
already
personally,
expressed.
like what you personally benefited from it. What other benefits could you say in general other men could experience from celibacy? But you already had gone over that. I hadn't
Right.
gone over that with Blended. That's why I asked the question.
Oh, okay, okay. Got it. Got it.
Um, and then as far as your point, aggressive gentleman, I enjoy your company in these streams. However, we are not talking about monogamy. We're not talking about infidelity. That's just her story. That's a little piece. The main point is celibacy.
Well, Cupid has has a good bridge because being celibate can actually strengthen your mental health. Absolutely can.
Yeah, but we also have nobody who explained it from a different aspect on why he decided to choose celibacy. He didn't choose it over infidelity or a relationship or anything of the such.
No.
He chose it for other reasons. So even though that's her story, that's not the main topic of discussion. Is that people are practicing celibacy because they had experienced infidelity because they were in a monogamous relationship.
The interaction he received from dancing he perceived as doing it too much. No, it wasn't that I was doing it too much. It was that I was looked at like like I said, like more than what I am. You know what I mean? I was looked at like a like just something to observe and not
Right.
actually interact with. Objectified, exactly. Fully objectified.
Hmm. And that has nothing to do with being in a relationship. That's
No,
how people
none of
were
that.
perceiving him.
Yes.
You know. So trying to make the focus monogamy and all that is irrelevant to a certain standpoint.
Right.
Now nobody's story has nothing to do with monogamy.
Right.
Hmm.
Monogamy is a whole different
He just wanted
conversation.
to see could he turn it off. Basically, is what I get from his testimony.
Right.
Can I
Hmm.
just cut myself off from this part of my life, this part of my thinking and being?
That's a really good one right there. Under the umbrella, lusting is an issue. Yes, it could definitely become an issue.
Hmm.
Definitely. It could definitely that ties into many different tendencies. That ties into being jealous. That ties into being envious. You know what I mean? Lust falls into a lot of those categories, and a lot of people have a problem with, and they stress out with because they're lusting, and they don't get that exact kind of level of lust back. Then all of a sudden they're insecure, they're broken. It's happened. It's happened before, and it's gonna happen again.
True. For those of you just tuning in, this is Found a Way with Wyatt Matter. I'm your host, Wyatt Matter, here every Wednesday, 11 p.m. Eastern. Tonight, our topic is celibacy with Nobody and First Lady Blended. Um,
Oh, I saw the reason why you didn't make the show on a post, Cupid, when you was throwing water on you. So yeah, you're definitely not in this algorithm, sir.
No, he's saying that he has too many opinions. That's because he hardly
You're
shows up for
definitely
these
not in this
shows.
algorithm.
He has too many
Thank you, boy
opinions. He's
tone.
trying. My twin is trying very, very hard to contain himself right now.
I know. I'm an Aquarius. Trust me, I'm just as eccentric and crazy as him.
He's
Trust me.
ready to cuss.
You
He's
should
My
ready
know
to,
y'all
my
to
birthday
bring
is
up
February
things.
8th. My birthday is February 8th. Trust me, I'm right there with him.
That's my son's birthday.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Thank you, my
Oh,
my.
He'll be
All right.
18.
So Let's see. We're all right. So we're getting close to the end. So our next question is: if there is somebody in this room, not saying that there is, not saying that there's not, if there's somebody who tunes in and they're considering
Really is.
celibacy, what would be your advice to somebody who wants to start that journey?
My advice, my main advice is make sure, and I'm gonna take it back to the app because we're on the app. It's just like when you hit that gift button. Make sure you really want to hit that gift button so you don't have the regret, so you don't feel regret, because regret is a really hard feeling to deal with. Same thing with celibacy. Make sure you really want to do that and you understand what you're getting into before you get into it, because it's not an easy journey.
Right.
It's not. Thank you, boy Tom.
Thank you, Poison. How about you, Blended?
I kind of said the same thing earlier. Um, you got to make sure that that lane is for you. And what are you doing to keep it? Like,
Right.
don't be so quick to give up. How bad do you want it? And what is your why? Because your why is what's going to keep you on your path.
Yep.
Very true. Now, would you recommend the person be single if they want to practice celibacy, or you think it's possible to partake in that with your partner if you are dating or whatever have you?
I think it's possible if they really get an understanding of
Right.
why you're doing it and if they're going to support you, if they're not going to be a road bump.
Right. Yeah. Same thing. What
20 language.
blended said, piggybacking off of that. I think it's possible, but you need to have the same mindset. You need to definitely be on the same plane of, you know, understanding and acknowledgement of what you guys are getting yourself into and the reason and the objective, the end goal.
Mhm. Okay. All right, y'all. This is Found a Way with Why It Matter. I'm your host, Why It Matter, here every Wednesday, 11 p.m. Eastern. We are coming to a closing of the show. Um, our topic tonight was celibacy with Nobody and Miss Blended. We went over their experience with celibacy. We have Blended, who had experienced it for 8 years. She's not currently celibate. It's just something that she did partake in. Then we have Nobody, who's been doing it for 6 years, ongoing and going strong. Apparently,
Yep.
I don't know how y'all did it. I really don't. Look, because every time I try to stop, somebody new come along and piques my interest. Anyways,
Right.
But
they
see,
That's
gave
usually
some
remember
how it
that's what I
advice.
goes.
was telling you about. That's when it comes.
hmm Like when
Why
you
do you
say I'm
think?
not
Why do you
dating no
think? With
more,
that being
and then
said,
everybody wants to pop into your
right,
life.
right. With that being said, why do you think dogs? Why do you think dogs go from dogs to dogs to dogs? Because they smell a new scent. When a dog is with another dog, they sniff that dog, they smell a new scent, and right away they get with that other dog. That's why they say humans are like dogs. As soon as we smell a new scent, as soon as we get a new feeling, we're like, oh, we want that. Why do you think people cheat? A lot of people don't
Mm.
cheat because they just want to cheat. A lot of people cheat because they want something different. They want a new scent.
I guess that would make sense on why so many don't understand why they even cheat.
Exactly.
But yeah, we talked about that. They gave some advice. If you guys missed the show, I do record the shows. It will be posted, if not tonight, probably tomorrow. I record every episode. If you guys are interested in being a part of the show, um, I take inboxes on my IG, which is linked below. Um, I have other social medias that are linked. You can always message me on those if you can't get to me on here. People cheat because I mean that's true as well. They're weak
Yeah, that's
to
true as well. And what you said, Cupid,
they're weak to
you said
instinct.
about the you said about the flipping. I agree. I don't flip with people. I flip with the universe. The universe is gonna bless me. I don't flip with you motherfuckers. No.
Language. We know you love cheating, broke. Um, so go ahead and give you guys these little outros when we can catch you. Anything you guys have coming up that we could participate in. Now's the time to plug all the things y'all got going on.
Go ahead, nobody.
I stream every when I'm not busy. I don't stream because I'm bored. I know a lot of people say that. I got better things to do when I'm bored than tag. No offense, tag. Um, but I stream when I want to talk to people and just get out there in the sun because I have social anxiety. I really have 0% interest in people in the world. But you guys are okay. So if you want to catch me on, fade me, come to my stream. I'm a whole mood. That's all I gotta say.
All right. So catch nobody when you catch them. How about you, Miss Blended?
I'm actually getting ready to start Onesie Wednesday, so all the ladies are welcome. I stream whenever I stream now. I don't really have a schedule, and I have a lightning giveaway on Friday. Jet entry, VIP will. How can I on at work? VIP will give away for a tic tac toe tournament.
I just
All
want you
right,
to know,
yeah,
Wyatt, you call Cupid your twin. If that was me in the comments, I'd be his twin. I'd be doing all of that, not knowing how to act. You can't take me nowhere.
we
I promise you.
we share the same birthday. That's why that's my twin. But every day I make a comment and he realizes why we're twins. Every time I say something, he's like, "This is why you're my twin."
I swear, I'd be doing the exact same thing.
Even though I'm more contained than he is, we there's a lot of ways that we are just alike. All right. So once again, like I said, if you guys want to catch the show or previous episodes that you might have missed, you guys are more than welcome to hit the link for my YouTube. Like I said, I'll post tonight's episode tomorrow. We've had stuff such as uh, 50 Shades. I don't feel comfortable calling it what it really is, but we've had 50 Shades. We've had different types of poly conversations. We've had side pieces. We've had
Waterfall.
uh, we've had a pet play, which was very interesting. We've had sugar babies. No, we did not touch sugar babies. I'm sorry. We've done, but we will do that. I gotta find me some new sugar babies because the sugar baby didn't make it. So we're gonna find some new ones. And I know that there's plenty that could fill that void. Um, we've gone over interracial dating. We did a part one and a part two. We had interracial dating and biracial people. We've had what else have we had? We've had a whole bunch of stuff. The next week's you guys can look forward to it. I already have it in mind. I already have it ready. I have my guests in mind as well. Hopefully, we did co-parenting. My mind was also part of the gay parent episode, um, where it was just basically unconventional parents. So we had um, Mai, who is part of the gay community and has birthed children, and then we had John, who was part of that episode, and he took on taking care of 5+ kids that are not biologically his. And it wasn't a woman that he was dating or anything of the sort. He took them into his home. He still cares for them to this day, and he takes care of everything. And you don't have a lot of
Wow,
men that do that nowadays.
that's
So
that's power. That's power.
it definitely was. Look, I tried to give him my kids. He said the
Mhm.
more the merrier. I said, well, shoot, okay. When I'm ready to ship them off, I'm gonna ship them off.
Right, Amazon 1 day shipping. See.
But our next episode, um,
Thank you, water baby.
I know Mama wants to be a part of it. I am willing to do a part one and part two. What I might do is because there's two different couples I want to ask, and then I have the single people who could be a part of it, who experienced it. But Twin wants to be on that show. We'll see if he's still interested. Mama was interested, and then I have two couples I'm going to ask, which is streamers dating streamers. And what I'm referring to when I say streamers dating streamers is streamers who make it work.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
they're not breaking up
It's a
because of
good
the
topic.
app or anything like that. That's next week's topic. Streamers who date streamers and make it work. Because we have plenty of couples on this app that are both streamers and they work through it and they have no issues. They don't break up over anything dealing with their streams. They stay happy.
You
You
should
ready
do
for that?
chicken
All
for
right.
you should do chicken for diamond. Special guest Cupid Lee. No.
Then we have so we'll have my even though like I said, she'll be a part of it. She's not currently with that person anymore, but it has nothing to do with streaming. Um, we might throw Cupid Lee in there just to throw him in there because I feel like that's the only topic we could really discuss.
Oh, real quick, I wanted to say before I get out of the box,
Yes.
I am a graphic designer. I know Lockwave is a very popular graphic designer on here, but there is a new graphic designer on the block. And the difference between me and him is I actually draw my content. Everything is just custom made. I don't really Google too much. Waterfall can, go ahead and vouch for that. I made her waterfall logo recently, and that was all handmade, and it
Okay.
took me 16 hours.
Damn. You sound like somebody
Yeah,
I forget his name, but it is a gentleman that comes to my stream and he hand does all his stuff too. Thank you for the
yeah,
faves.
yeah.
So
I
we're
hand do
coming to
everything.
the close of the show, you guys. So make sure that you guys fave the guests. Make sure you guys fave me if you want to come back to the next show every Wednesday, 11 p.m. Eastern. Fave the gifters. I'd say fave my reds, but the only red we have right now is my and she will lose it as soon as I click end live. But look forward to seeing you guys next week. I'm just wasting time till we hit the 9 o'clock mark or midnight mark because I think my feature bar is still
All
up.
right.
I have to
Well,
stream it.
I appreciate you for
But yeah, if
having
you guys want
me.
to box down, you're more
Um,
than welcome to.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna
Yes, I
box
saved
down,
you,
but I
my
appreciate you
mind. I
having me.
saved everyone.
Um,
Thank
No
you.
and
problem.
the presentation of this show was dope. I really vibe with it.
I appreciate it. Nobody, I appreciate you for doing it. I'm sorry that the original gentleman that was supposed to participate in the show did not show up. Um,
Yeah.
he he's under the weather, so that was part of the reason why he didn't even show up in the
Oh, okay,
comments.
okay. Well, I hope he feels
Yeah.
better. That's because we were talking earlier in my stream, and I said I was hoping he would tune in because it's definitely good to have another male perspective.
And his
You know,
his perspective is actually pretty interesting.
I appreciate
They
you,
definitely
no caller
are.
ID. Thank you so much.
These are my personal friends. I'm always tapping in their streams. Me and
Yep.
nobody haven't been tapping in with each other lately, but we were both really under the weather. So we're just
Yeah,
getting back on
really under the
track.
weather. And that's another thing. Before I get out of here, make sure you guys are checking on your health and you're doing everything to stay healthy because the world is just sick today. And I don't mean sick as in ugly, and I mean sick as in like just everybody's coming out with colds and stuff like that. And just make sure
Hmm.
you protect your immune system. Like it's crazy out here.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't overstress your body. Thank you so
Right.
much for participating, you guys. And like I said, you guys can catch my mind next week. I'll talk to Cupid Lee. I have some couples, and um, then we have another topic of sugar babies and sugar parents. Thank you, me. Yes, wash your hands. Y'all nasty. Um, but yeah, um, I guess that's it. That's all I really got left to say, y'all.